Thanks for joining me to color. Today we're going to be working on this adorable penny black image called XOXO. Isn't she super cute? I love her. I will put a link down in the description box to the card kit and all the supplies I used. I really appreciate you shopping with me. I've also learned to put up a pop-up, so right about now you should be seeing a little pop-up so you can head over and grab a kit if you would like one. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I'll make sure to get back to you. Otherwise, I already stamped my image on Nina 80-pound Solar White cardstock with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. So let's color. So let's start out by giving our girl an outline. For that, I'm going to use C0. And I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to go all the way around the outside of my image and give it a little bit of a shadow. I like to do this first so that in case I touch my image, I don't have to worry about transferring the colors I've already put on there out to the background. Kind of jag around the edge there. Her hair's kind of choppy. And if I get some on her and I want to erase it, it's super easy if you do this first too. But for me, it just gives it a little bit of something around the outside that makes it not look quite so flat. You could totally skip this part if you didn't want to have the outline on there. All these flowers. I'm not being very careful around those flowers because we're going to paint those blue and red, so we're going to cover all that up if I got some on there. Let's do her skin next. For that, I'm going to use E112100, and then for her cheeks, I'm going to use E93. And I'm going to start with my E11 first. And let's start on her little arm. So I'm going to go right next to her sleeve, and then down the crook of her arm where it's bent. And then I want to do the back side, so let's do over here. Do a little line, and how about her neck right here, and then this sleeve, this arm, that. Then I'm going to add E21, and I like to touch down on top of my last color when I add the next one, so I'm going to just touch down on top of my E11, and I'm going to flick out here into my white, and I'm going to color the back of her arm in on that side. And then for this arm over here, same thing. I'm going to touch down on the E11 and then flick up into her white space like that. Next, I'm going to fill her arms in with my E000. Then we'll hop up here and we'll do her face. So again, grab your E11. And for that, I want to go underneath of her bangs. So let's go right here. Like that. And she's got a little bit of her ear showing over here too, so let's do it over here a little bit. And she's got a little bit of her ear right here showing. This way and a little bit underneath of her cheek there, or by her hand. Next, we're going to do E21, and again, touch down on top of your E11 first. So I'm going to touch down, I'm going to fill in over here. Then I'm going to touch down on top of my E11 and flick out to my white. Color this ear in. Then we're going to add some E00. And again, I touched down on top of my E21 first. And I brushed right over the top of those lips because I'm going to color those pink, so I wasn't worried about that. Okay, so let's add some cheek color with our E93. And I'm going to do her lips. Then I want to do a second coat of my skin tone, so let's do E11. And then E21. And then I'm going to go over all of that with my E00. I'm going to go back this time with my E11, and I'm going to put the shadow back in underneath of her hair. So let's go. And let's add it back on her arm here too. I think maybe I'll make her cheeks just a little pinker, so let's add a little dab of E93. For her hair, let's use E18, 23, and 31. I'm going to start with my E18. And let's see, let's add a little bit up here at her part. Little strands there. Making just a few streaks because her hair is kind of choppy, so I'm going to leave it that way. Then I'm going to add E23. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just going to add some more lines. And then lastly, we'll add E31. Then I'm going to go back and add just a little bit more of my E18. let's do her skirt next. For that, we're going to use BG 72, 57, 45, and then B00 and 000. I'm going to start with my BG 72. And I want to put where I want to have some dips, so dark areas. So let's go right here where it comes down a little V. I'm going to go ahead and go that. And then over here it comes down, comes up, and then it comes back down, and right here's a little dip. And then here's another little dip. I'm just going to put some lines in there. And let's see, let's give one right here. Looks like it kind of dips underneath. And then here it comes up, and then it comes back down. How about right here? And her dress is kind of poofed out, so I'm trying to keep my lines going with the dress. And right here and right here. We'll do one since there's a little wrinkle right here. We're just going to bring this down more. Then I want to add BG 57. And I'm going to go right over the top of that BG 72 and make it just a little bit wider. Then I'm going to add BG 45. Same thing, I'm just going to go over the last two colors and make those wider. Then we'll add B00. And then we'll go over all of those with our B00. I'm just going to swipe from bottom to top. Then I'm going to come back with my BG72 and put a little bit of those shadows back in there. I'm going to try to keep my pen very skinny and just use little bitty flicking motions. And I'm going to leave her like that. Next, let's put the stripes on her dress top, the heart, and her socks. For that, we're going to use our 27, 35, and 14. And I'm going to start with our 27. And I'm just going to do alternate stripes. So let's start up here on her top. Let's see. Let's go. They're pretty skinny, so you're going to have to be really careful. One. I'm going to fill this side over here in because there's just a little bit like that. Then we'll hop down here and we'll do the little heart. So again, pick a stripe. I'm going to fill in this top one, and you could fill them all the way in too. And let's go down here and do her socks. And then I'm going to add our 35. And her little shirt up here. Then I'm going to fill it in with my R14. You could also use your Spica red glitter pen. This would be really pretty. Put that on there. And we also want to use this on some of the flowers, so let's do R27 again. And let's do this big flower up here in her hair first. And then a couple of these smaller ones down here. So how about this one? And then this bigger one that looks like a daisy. And then I'm going to add R35. And then we'll fill that in with our R14. For her boots, we're going to use W8, 6, 4, and 2. I'm going to start with W8. And let's do the center part of her boots. Let's go right down here, do those little lines, and then down the edge. That. I'm going to do the same thing for this side, so I'm going to go right down the center and do these lines and down to the edge, or down to her sole. Then I want to add W6. And then we'll do W4. And then I also want to use that on the inside of this upper part. And then we're going to fill them in with our W2. For the rest of the flowers, we're going to use BO2 and B00. So let's start with our BO2. And let's go up here and start up here at the top. So how about we do this bottom section of this flower. And then for this one, we'll do a little bit in the centers. This one, we do the bottom petal. Then we'll hop down here. Got these. And then I'm going to fill them in with my B00. And then I'm going to use Y35 to do the centers. And then G94 for the leaves and the stems. And there's a few little dots up here. I'm going to fill those in with with my green. Go down here and we'll get these. And the bottom of this flower. And then I'm going to do little lines down the stems of the flowers. And last but not least, let's give her some ground to stand on, and for that I'm going to use E31. Let's see, let's go, how about the back of the boot here? So let's go like this. Trying not to color her boot. let's go a little bit over here more. So there is our beautiful XOXO all colored up. Isn't she just adorable? And then again, here is my finished card. So on my finished card, the cinnamon is popped up, the girl is popped up, and then this little pink heart over here is popped up. Everything else is flat. I did some Spica clear glitter pin in her hair to add some sparkles. And then I put some Wink of Stella clear brush pen on her blue part of her dress here, the blue-green part, to make it shimmery. I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not, but it's very sparkly. Very fun. So I hope you had fun coloring with me today. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I'll make sure to get back to you. If you could also like, subscribe, and share my video, I would love that. Otherwise, I hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.